Good morning. Welcome to Crown Glory Ministries. This is where we come together to try to just learn to God so we can get more closer and intimate to Him. Today I want to talk about when dysfunction becomes normality. We were born apart from God. In the Bible, it talks about having a sinful nature. It's our DNA that we were born with, apart from God. We had the DNA of Satan, right? And then, when Jesus came and made the sacrifice, now we got a chance to be born again. We got a chance to get a new DNA. We got a chance to get His spirit versus the one we were born with. And now we're being transformed by the renewing of our mind. We're being reformed or conformed to the image of His Son, who is the firstborn amongst many brethren. So what happened was this. When we were born with this sinful nature, and everything that we were doing in our logical world that we live in, they call it carnality. Everything we were learning were backwards. It was contrary to godliness. And guess what? We didn't have an alternative because we had not gotten the nature of God. So what happened was we were just going through this life. And literally, we were walking through life backwards. Yeah. What happens when you walk through life backwards? You go fall over some stuff, you go trip, because you can't see clear. Now, God gives us His DNA, and it starts to slowly, as we're walking backwards in life, it starts to slowly but surely turn us around where we can see now. And guess what? Now I can get around some things. I can go over some things. I can see clear now. I'm having less bruises. I'm having less conflict. I'm having less chaos in my life. And that dysfunction, man, it seems to start disappearing. But you know, as I'm walking like this and I'm seeing the light, I'm seeing with God's eyes, I'm seeing with my spiritual eyes, with my godly eyes. Guess what? I got other people around me that haven't done their transformation yet. And they say like, oh, who we think he is? Oh, he's sitting up there. So you go do it backwards, huh? Because I've turned my dysfunction to a normality, the way it's supposed to be. But because it don't look like everything that everybody else is doing or that we are accustomed to doing, now all of a sudden I start getting the peer pressure. Everybody wants me to get back to the dysfunction. You know, it's a shame that we'll rather have the dysfunction rather than the normality. We'll rather have what we know is no good for us or that causes us conflict or chaos and it takes away our peace rather than to stay in the place of peace. In the face of all adversity, no matter what nobody says, no matter what nobody does, I know that this is the best place for me. We've allowed our dysfunction to become our normality. Now you could be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You can have a change of mind, a change of heart. And your spirit will lead and guide you in a whole different direction, whole different lifestyle application. And guess what? There's peace there, that peace that transcends all understanding. Once you've tasted and seen that the Lord is good, why would you go back the other way? Why would I do something contrary to what I know now? I live in tragedy, making the same mistakes over and over and over again. Maybe I'm by myself. Man, it's time for a turnaround to be conformed to the image of God. Matter of fact, to be transformed, that's a metamorphosis. Like from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Instead, from this unrighteous nature to a righteous nature. from an unrighteous mindset to a righteous mindset, from an unrighteous heart set to a righteous heart set, so we can go forward intimately with God. And then now, that's where the victory begins. That's where the success begins. That's where the peace begins. Man, that's what we're looking for. But we're so scared to get out of our normal, which is a dysfunction, to come to what looks like it's dysfunctional, but it's really normal. Maybe you'll catch that tomorrow. I bless y'all with love and happiness. Peace. Have a good day.